Hi, I'm Mark Tilley, and today's the day that Dirtbike magazine gets to ride the 2025 Honda CRF450R for the very first time. Now, Honda did a bunch of work on this bike when it comes to getting their handling back. Honda's known way back in the day for really good handling motorcycles, really fast motorcycles. Well, they got the good engine package. They haven't really changed very much. They went to a longer head pipe, some ECU mapping, but what they really did was concentrate on the handling on this motorcycle. They did something that we didn't think it needed. They went more rigid. Will that translate into better handling? We don't know. We're here to find out, but the frame is 70% changed. The axle is more rigid. The whole front end of this bike is more rigid. They have a brand new linkage in the back, not only ratio wise, but when it comes to actual design of the linkage to hit those target points of targeted rigidity. What the R&D people at Honda think is that the bike was moving around a little bit too much, so it was a little bit too soft for the overall feeling. Now, like I said, maybe not what we would have done, but maybe it might work. We're here at Ironman Raceway. It is a little soggy out right now, so we're gonna try to get in some motos before the rain really hits, kind of get an idea of what the bike is, and come back to you guys, so stay tuned for more. Okay, so we just got done with our first day of testing on the 2025 Honda CRF450R here at Ironman Raceway. It's spitting a little bit of rain now. Epic conditions. Thanks to everybody at the Raceway and at Honda for bringing us out here and giving us a little bit different look. But back to the motorcycle. To say we're surprised is maybe a little bit far-fetched. We knew that Honda had a lot of innovation going into this particular motorcycle, just like their 250F that we got to ride a few weeks back. To be honest with you, the first time they told me that they were going to stiffen this bike up and make it more rigid in spots, I kind of already had what I was going to say in the video about it being too stiff or whatever. Really blown away with how the bike performed here at Ironman Raceway. Naturally, it didn't get crazy rough. We are here with just the media, but this bike seems to have a lot more stability than what the previous model. We've been doing a lot of testing on the 2024 model. It doesn't have that stability everywhere. It kind of seems like it, with consecutive bumps, it will bind up and then all of a sudden release. But then we can't make it do that thing the next lap the same way. This bike is kind of where our 2024 model is now that we've got it to where it has that stability that we want. It has the action that we want. This bike didn't do anything crazy suspension wise, which in years past it kind of had. Overall, I think it's a little bit soft, even maybe for the average guy, a little bit soft. Here at Ironman, there is some pretty big hits. And I even noticed that, you know, coming into some of the turns, it was a little bit softer than what I would like, particularly like my bikes softer. Doing more off-road and stuff like that, I want a lot more rider comfort. So I would go a little bit stiffer all the way around. For me personally, we did go a little bit stiffer in the front and then slid the forks up so that we had even more stability and more upkeep in that. But it does seem like this bike does have more power than the 2024 model. We're riding the Works Edition 2024 model a lot, and I wouldn't say that this rivals that power, but it does seem to have more bottom and mid, kind of right off bottom and then pull through the mid. I found myself not really wanting that next gear or looking for that next gear. A little bit more power than last year. That could be the head pipe or it could be the new ECU mapping. No way of telling. We did mess around with stuff, but we were really kind of limited. We were battling the rain that's now coming down to try to get stuff in before that. But I can't wait to get this bike back to California and Southern California and hit some of the tracks, the really rough tracks that we know are rough. Glen Helen, Kahia, maybe spend some laps at Palo as well to see if it is as stable as we think it is and as stable as it felt out there today. Again, no real weird things that it did. Kind of impressed with the stability because that's something that this bike has definitely lacked for a long time in general. So again, this is our first day of testing. We look forward to doing a lot more testing and on tracks that we're a little bit more familiar with. Stay tuned to that. But if you got a little bit more time on your hands and you want to check out some other 2025 models that we have already tested, hit that video thumbnail now. And don't forget to subscribe, because when you subscribe, it actually alerts you that we have a brand new video out. We have new videos coming out all the time. And if you're looking for some off-road industry news, head over to dirtbikemagazine.com.